All right, y'all. DJ Hyphen J Moore, Sunday night sound session right here backstage at Summer Jam. Got a special guest.
What's happening?
It's Big Krit right there.
Yeah, man. Country cousin. Urco representative. Cadillac on the way.
Yeah,
Plugging already. I'm already on it.
Let's get right into it. Let's talk about the new album.
Let's go, man.
The title?
Cadillactica.
Yeah. So like futuristic.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's just that and soulful, man. It's also picking up from where Live from the Underground left off, and kind of telling the story of where the Cadillac came from. It crash lands on planet Earth, which to me was mainstream music, being so underground with my music and being so, I would say, rebellious with what was, a lot was going on, and kind of wanted to do it my own way and just telling the story in reverse.
Let's talk about the last album because it was an interesting one. You were actually criticized for releasing a good project.
Thank you.
Which I've actually never seen before. The intense criticism for releasing a solid, great record, like quality music, and people were upset.
Because I was competing with myself, and I think it's always hard to, like, first impressions are really hard to let down. Krit was here was the first time a lot of people ever heard my music, the kind of content. It was 23 songs, and it was so much going on, the variety. And I had 3 years to work on it. Krit was here versus having a year, 6 months to work on, Live from the Underground. But it was still beautiful, man, to know that I'm competing with myself, though. Yeah. So at the end of the day, that's cool, too.
I also feel like those songs are going to be songs that last a long time, too. Yeah. Like, there may have been that initial, like, oh, it's not like the mixtapes or something. But I think when people go back to it 5 years from now and look at the catalog as a whole, I think they're going to have a lot of... Yeah,
they're starting to do it now.
What about creatively, the differences between the studio albums, the mixtapes? I mean, it seems fairly similar.
I mean, believe it or not, Live from the Underground was a little more difficult than doing any mixtape I ever did.
Just from like a sample clearance?
Oh, man, because, normally, let me sample Michael Jackson screaming and just throw it on a record. I don't have to clear it, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a mixtape, we're giving it away for free.
Yep.
Album, that little sample might take up all of the publishing, and you gotta you gotta remember that, you gotta know that when you get these records to people, to the labels, you gotta let them know, like, all right, this is what I sampled. It's a little bit more confined, and so now more than ever with Cadillactica, I'm trying to create from a different space, not sampling so much, just all original, working with other producers as well, and then other musicians,
Interesting. Let's talk about that. So that's one thing that everyone always thinks about when they think of you is that you handle everything, do the raps and the hook, do the beat, everything. So now you're going to branch out and let some other folks in the studio?
Yeah, man. It was difficult at first just because it's like I'm so used to being in control and I know exactly what beat and, but it was kind of like working with these other producers, I learned a lot too. I got to be in the studio and I saw, you using that equipment? Oh, those are drum kits you use? Let me get those, you know what I'm saying? So it's like even the music I produce for myself is becoming bigger and it's sounding stronger, and the instruments that I'm using and being able to work with a Jim Johnson, a DJ Dahi, Terrence Martin, people like this is like, oh man, okay. Yeah, so it's been beautiful. It's been difficult in some aspects because I just want to make a beat for myself. But just being an artist and being a rapper and being able to be creative is beautiful too.
So what's going to be like the ratio in terms of self-produced versus those guys? I assume you're still like co-producing every record for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, I would say 65% of it is still produced by me.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's one bit of knowledge that you can share with us that those producers shared with you? Like, what's some little tidbit or something that stands out to you? Like, wow, maybe not a secret.
Okay. Well, I don't give away no secrets, but don't be scared to ask somebody's idea. I mean, ask somebody, help when it comes to a record. Yeah. Like a lot of these producers, they do what they do, and then they also have somebody else, like a musician or somebody that's good with drums, that'd be like, man, what you think about this? And I was so in the house, you know what I'm saying? I was in the studio, and it was just me. And even I could hear it in my production after a while. It's like, all right, I got to stop using that drum kit. I got to stop using that melody. But if I had somebody that I worked alongside to kind of grow with, they would have had a totally different idea anyway. Yeah. And that's what I kind of learned. And then mixing is extremely important too, to work with people that know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. How involved were you in like the mixing and mastering process previously?
I'm hands-on, there, straight up. Live from the Underground was the first time I didn't necessarily mix the whole project. I was Forever and a Day, then Live from the Underground, but before then it was just me, and I'm hitting these EQs, and I pray that this is compressed properly, and this might be hitting the red, but it sounds good in the car, but you learn, you go to the club, shit don't sound good, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I learned from that.
It actually reminds me a couple years ago when Kanye came out with Stronger, and I remember there's that story of him like being in the club and he finally heard it for the first time, and he was like, yo, my drums don't compare to like Timbaland. He actually called up Timbaland and was like, yo, I need help like on these drums. And you see Kanye now has like a house full of people
just trying to put it together. Mike Will is the reason. You go to club, Mike Will, I don't care if it's the beat that they gave you, just a 2-track, it's knocking like none other. So they've been like, all right, shit, I need mine to do that too. Yeah.
Who are other folks that you look up to? It sounds like from a production standpoint, Mike Will for sure.
Oh man, Ninth Wonder.
Okay.
Ninth Wonder, definitely. David Banner. You know what I'm saying? These are people that sampled but then learn how to make them aggressive in their own kind of way. You know, change it up. You know, not have the traditional, I'm gonna sample their hook and that's gonna be the hook, and then in the verse they were doing other things with those records and those tracks. Kenneth Whalum is an amazing musician too, man. I had the opportunity to really chop it up with the homie and see what he's doing, because I want to work with musicians outside of just rapping, because there's more in store. And as far as me creating, I want to kind of branch out too, just to scoring movies and stuff like that. So I'm doing a lot of studying now.
So when you watch a movie, are you thinking in your head like where you would like bring the strings up?
Oh hell yeah! I got Just Touchdown could have been in so many sports movies.
Yep.
I'm already out here making the records. They just got here.
Yeah, we got to get some syncs.
No doubt. Let's go. You plug. Let them know.
We'll make that happen. What about MCs that are kind of on the come up that you are keeping your eye on?
I mean, well, definitely. Still my homies putting it down. Big Son, Tito Lopez doing it. Doing his thing. I'm excited for the homie Rich Homie Quan, man, because I see his work ethic and he I really represent too, man. But for the most part, all the homies, Freddie Gibbs still killing it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's still being extra lyrical and doing them just on a bigger, spectrum now. So
yeah. What about guests on this upcoming record?
I can't tell you.
And I can't reveal
I'm sorry.
All right, that's all right.
Big Son will be on it, but you know me, I don't do that, man. I can't tell you.
When is it coming?
It's gonna be still hot enough outside for you to ride around with your windows down and your top drop. You know what I'm saying? Trust me.
Even in Seattle?
Yes.
Because you don't have much time.
Man, hold on. I ain't think about that. I ain't thinking about, because it was like 40 degrees when we touched down today. But nah, you have some time. Play it in your house.
Okay.
You don't go nowhere anyway when it's that cold out here like that. You stay in the crib.
No, yeah, we'll just be in there. Before we let you go, we gotta talk about Mount Olympus, because that record dropped and Twitter blew up.
Yeah.
Everyone went crazy.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh yeah, that guy Krit, like he's got a lot to say.
That's right. Yeah.
What was the impetus behind that? What was the motivation?
I mean, I remember, that record has definitely been in the works for a little while, but it was one of those things where I always been humble, and just praising everybody and make my music. But after the Control verse, and I understand there was a positive spectrum to that record too, which a lot of people, all those people he named had a radio record, or been on radio, except me. So I was one of those people like, okay, thank you, because there was a lot of people hadn't even heard of me till he said that. But there was a lot of negativity that came too, just from people that not only wanted me to compete, was like, well, what you gonna say? And then it became the battle rap spectrum. And so I was literally working on my album. I was in a certain kind of space. And then I was like, all right, well, I got to do something, but I'm going to do it my way. I'm not going to focus on it just being about a Control verse. I'm not going to focus on, I'm a battle rap. It's more to that. It's like, I'm from Mississippi. I've dropped so much music. I'm out here proving myself daily. Why and what is this wall that's blocking me from people hearing my music? And I feel like I addressed a lot of that in that song, as far as, well, come to Mississippi, do a show. Holler at these people, because there's people down there that's not on the internet that love your music. Reach out to them. How can I be king of hip hop and Andre 3000 wasn't? These are people that I look up to, and they're lyrical, and the masses know that they're lyrical, but even some of these people I looked up to, it was this wall. Yeah. And so I feel like addressing that and speaking on my frustration with having to prove myself so much. 260 songs, prove myself. That's a different kind of catalog, and it's all there for free. Yep. It's all there for free. And so I feel like I put all that in Mount Olympus, and just to show them that I can rap. It's a different kind of rapping too, and I make this beat.
Is the South ever going to get lyrical respect the way it should?
I mean, but Outkast doing their 20-year anniversary and they selling out festivals, so I have to feel like,
I feel like still, like, what are we, like 15 years removed from the South has something to say, right? Like,
yeah,
people still don't give the credit.
It's one of those things where music is timeless. So over time, it doesn't matter. You can't, if it's great music, you can't get away from it. You can't stop it. It's gonna get played. And I think that at the end of the day, you go from wanting to be recognized in a certain lane to just be like, you know what, I'm just gonna make great music, and that really doesn't matter. And I think that's what Catalactica is for me, is I'm creating this planet where it's me consciously making the kind of music that it doesn't matter what level of lyricism you put it on, where you put it genre-wise. It's just great music, and just enjoy it. And Lord willing, it'll stand the test of time and outlive all the music I ever created.
We just came from a little backstage barbecue where we met what appeared to be your number one fan.
The homie. He was turned up. Which one, Sam Dog or Kyle?
Not Sam Dog. I think it was Kyle. But Sam Dog was turned up too. Shout out to Sam Dog.
Sam Dog and Kyle, man. It was turned up, man.
I think it was Kyle had the Krit tattoo.
Yeah, he had the Krit tattoo.
He had all the Krit merch. He had all the Krit albums. What does it feel like to have someone respond to your music like that?
It's amazing, brother. Because at the end of the day, like, all I ever wanted to do was make music that people could hear. Like, just listen to this music. And it was so many doors, maybe shut my face, or people be like, I don't want to hear that bass. I was like, man, I'm from Mississippi. So it's always this. So to be this far from home, to drop the kind of content I did, rapping about my personal life and experiences, and people relate that much to it, that means that that's success in itself. You know, job well done, you did.
Yeah, and they're going to ride with you forever.
No doubt, no doubt.
It's beautiful. All right, we're going to let you go tear down Summer Jam 2014, Big Krit. Where's the best place they can catch you online?
Oh, man, go to bigkrit.com, BIGKRIT, or go to twitter.com/BIGKRIT. Go to facebook.com/BIGKRIT. I am on Instagram, Young Cruiser, YOUNGKRIZZLE.
Why did you switch it up for Instagram?
Because there's somebody that got Big Krit, and it's a cat. It's a feline. And I don't know how to get in touch with them. And they got followers, I think, now, because people have been trying to, but it's all good. Young Cruiser is cool.
Okay. Yeah. Go find him out there.
No doubt.
Big Krit, thanks for coming through. Sunday Night Sound Session. We appreciate it, man.
No doubt. Thank you.
No doubt. No doubt.
I'm